Hello and welcome to Dingoes Ate My Podcast. I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
I am Justin.
And this week we're talking about the episode Where the Wild Things Are.
And sadly, it is not the obvious meaning. It is the more obvious meaning.
It's the bedroom where they're having sex the entire episode.
Also known by myself as House Fucking the Episode.
Which sadly could be misconstrued when you first brought up the title.
What, do you think somebody was gonna fuck a house?
The sad thing is, some people bring those particular ideas to the table, but yeah,
I don't...
let's move on.
I don't understand the physics of that.
Let's
just
not
move
get
on.
into it terribly.
Let's just
I
get
can
into
think
the
of a few things.
Let's get into the basic synopsis of the episode.
Like, you don't stick it in like a electrical socket or something. Like,
this entire episode is going to be filled with this, isn't it?
No.
oh, so this episode originally aired April 25th, 2000. In this episode, Buffy and Riley fuck.
The end.
The end.
It's not surprising.
No, in all seriousness. Buffy and Riley fight a vampire and demon in the cemetery. Finally disposing of both of them, they intend to go tell Giles about the odd pairing of a demon and vampire, as they normally hate each other. They opt to have sex in Riley's dorm room at Lowell House, however. Riley gets up in the middle of the night, acting as if he hears something coming from the restroom. All he finds is a dripping faucet in the tub. Nothing spooky there. Xander's driving an ice cream truck for his new job. Oh, yay.
The one fun part of the episode.
And Anya rides along with him to complain about their diminishing relationship, because they didn't have sex for 2 nights. Trying to convince her that there is nothing wrong with him or their relationship. Because she thinks he might have erectile dysfunction.
Yeah, she supposedly needs a reason, aside from the fact that he didn't feel like doing it.
Because she saw the old wrinkly man on television talking about it.
We need to give her some better informational text aside from the television.
Xander suggests that they have sex right there in the truck. He doesn't realize that they're a group of kids waiting outside for their ice cream.
And sadly, a couple of parents as well, who are not too impressed.
And then he loses his job.
The gang talks about patrol the night before, and they realize that Adam is bringing the races of demons together. Buffy and Riley escape for some time alone, which is no secret to the rest of the gang. The two continue their sex romp through the night. While the rest of the house is freezing cold, Buffy and Riley continue to keep occupied and warm. An initiative, that's really fucking hard to say.
Yeah.
Agent is badly burned when a fire in the fireplace bursts forth into the room. The next night, Spike jumps out at Anya in the streets, trying to scare her into giving him money.
Yeah, not exactly the best method, as well as not exactly the best person to do that.
Well, yeah, Anya already knows that Spike is, a puppy.
I just love how she's like, does that actually work? Sometimes. It keeps me in blood and beer. I love Spike. He's too good. At the party, Buffy and Riley are making eyes at each other from across the room while their friends attempt to talk to them. This gives Willow the opportunity to tell her about an accident that might have happened with one of Buffy's shirts.
I question, though, if that was literal, or if she was just using it as kind of an example to test.
It probably happened.
I wouldn't be surprised, but again, Willow's usually safe with that sort of stuff. But again...
Somebody who is totally not me spilled something purple on it. That fits Willow's character. Willow's kind of clumsy sometimes.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Spike and Anya bond over a couple of beers at the Bronze, complaining about what it's like to be without their demon powers. Because Anya used to be able to fucking eviscerate people. Oh yes, this scene. A guy's talking to a girl where he places his hand on the wall and suddenly, he has an orgasm.
Oh yes, once this thing started.
Xander flirts with a girl named Julie. Riley and Buffy escape upstairs to resume their own private party. Willow and Tara talk about horses, but Willow had a bad experience with them and she is very afraid of them. Willow touches Tara's knee, but Tara backs away, inexplicably disgusted with the gesture. See, they're totally not a couple. Totally not.
This scene made me a little upset. Because now the house is doing all the other particular things that's the not great stuff about this episode.
Anya and Spike then arrive at the frat party, and the two verbally gang up on Xander. And Xander tries to have them get rid of Hostile 17, but nobody pays attention to it.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit too preoccupied with the fact that the spirits are kind of in most everybody.
A group is playing Spin the Bottle, and Xander joins in. On Xander's turn, the bottle lands on Julie, and he kisses her on the cheek. She suddenly jumps up and starts kissing him aggressively. After she runs away, Xander follows and finds her in a closet cutting off her hair. Willow goes to the restroom looking for Tara, and instead finds a body drowning in the bathtub. When she reaches for it, it disappears and reappears behind her. All this time, Buffy and Riley have barely come up for air, not even stopping when they hear Willow screaming, or the gang calling them from outside the door. The house begins to shake violently, and vines begin to cover the walls. Forrest and Graham run downstairs for instructions from their commanding officers. A ghost runs straight through Anya, and Spike is strapped to a chair. Spike breaks free of his bonds, and everyone escapes outside. The gang goes to Giles for help, and find him singing and playing guitar at the espresso pump.
Because apparently it's a thing that he does now.
Well, it's also because the actors did a lot of musical theater and wanted to incorporate it, probably.
No, as it is, he was pretty good.
And he will get to do more later.
Good. Neat. Also, that expression on Willow. I'm guessing somebody had their jaw dropped, and I guess you got the card.
He is surprisingly very good, which Willow, Tara, and Anya all find slightly appealing.
Xander, of course, is a little bit more what the heck is going on.
He is willing to offer cash incentives. Research leads them to the information about the Lowell building, which used to be the old Lowell home for children. They find the woman, Genevieve Holt, who ran the children's home, and she confesses that she rewarded the children when they were good and punished them when they were dirty. She would cut off their hair and baptize them by holding on them under the water in a bathtub. After leaving Miss Holt's place, they conclude their group of poltergeists is now releasing their pent-up sexual energy thanks to the repetitive acts of Buffy and Riley. When Buffy and Riley are drained of all their strength, they will die. Willow, Tara, and Giles perform a spell to stop the spirits. Xander and Anya hack their way through the vines and try to reach Buffy and Riley. Anya is knocked across the house while Xander is dragged into the bathroom and held underwater. Anya makes her way upstairs to save Xander, and they fight off the vines and finally open Riley's dorm room door. The next day, the gang talks about Giles' midlife crisis and the consequences of Buffy and Riley's endless sex. Unconvincingly, Buffy and Riley say how horrible the experience was, and Willow has a great little smile on her face at the very end of the episode. It's great, because Buffy's like, yeah, it was horrible, and Willow's just like, mm-hmm. It's great.
Yeah, like
that's
you two
why they
supposedly
couldn't
know.
stop.
They were possessed, though.
Not that they hated it.
So, international titles. In French, The Haunted House.
That's it.
Well, I guess it was it, so...
In Brazilian Portuguese, Where the Madness Happens. No, see, Macho Man wasn't in this, so I don't know. Ooh, yeah! There was no Kingdom of the Madness here. I don't know what they're going on about. Anyway, in German, The Insatiables, which is actually pretty good.
No, that's I.
So, for music... Caviar brings I Thought I Was Found. Crooner, Parker Posey. Face to Face, The Devil You Know, and then in brackets, God is a Man. Fonda, One of a Kind. Mirvia, I don't know how fuck you... Philo, Anthony Stewart Head, who's the one who plays Giles, sings Behind Blue Eyes, which is also a song by The Who. And Christoph Beck with the original score.
Mm-hmm.
So, the quote I pulled from this episode is from Anya and Spike. So, Anya starts off. A year and a half ago, I could have eviscerated him with my thoughts. Now I can barely hurt his feelings. Things used to be so much simpler. Spike, you take the killing for granted and then it's gone. And you're like, I wish I would have appreciated it more. Stopped and smelled the corpses, I just love that line. Stopped and smelled the corpses. Because it's a very Spike thing.
Yeah, that's true. Another Spike thing is once they get all out of the house, they're thinking, okay, we gotta go back in to save her. And it's Xander, Anya, Tara, Willow, and Spike there. It's like, you know what, I'll give you a hand. Even the fact that I don't like Buffy because she's the Slayer, the soldier guy was the one that captured me and whatnot, and I held...
Alright, so now that works again. Very good. So yeah, Spike has that whole thing where he's like, I'm gonna help, and then realizes he shouldn't, and leaves.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so what did you all think of this episode?
It was interesting for a couple particular points. Not too surprising with the kind of setting, but oh man, all the particular stuff, and just the, oh hey, there's the point of people learning about particular things, but then religion gets into it and just the kind of
Not the greatest episode. I mean, we just come off of Jonathan, and it's like yet another not really serious episode either.
Yeah.
Two in a row.
There might be a bit of a reason for that. Because the episode next week is going to be a bit of a gut punch.
Good. I hope so.
And I think they're kind of intentionally putting these 2 more comedic episodes, and then, boom, they're going to hit you.
Good. Because that's what I'm assuming. I wouldn't do another one in a row.
No, the next episode will definitely not be comedic. But overall, did you guys like this episode?
It was alright. There's still a couple of particular things that leave me questioning things, because from what they sort of explain within the episode, it's not exactly dead children, but the sort of spirits of their childhood and all their bad experiences.
Yeah, it's sort of like psychic energy kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't see it as bad as Beer Bad terribly, but I mean, this had a few moments that were alright.
Such as the orgasm wall.
The orgasm wall is
Why
great.
was that there?
Because it's a great joke. I was surprised at how much I enjoyed revisiting this. Because I remember the first time watching it, hating it. But I actually quite enjoyed it this time.
Was that a couple of years ago, or when you were a bit younger when you saw this?
Probably 16, 17.
Oh, okay.
So target age for it.
Yeah, okay.
Not enjoying it at the time. But I enjoyed it a lot more this time. I also like how they kind of... They're still building the Willow and Tara relationship here.
Yeah, It was nice that it was there, but it made me sad that the house brought in the bad memories for that one interaction. It's just, oh my god!
Yes. But they are totally not a couple, WB. Totally not.
It's fine. It's
and
okay.
Justin's all like, yeah, they're a couple. What are you thinking?
Well, in season 5, they'll throw all pretense out the window and be like, yeah, okay, whatever. But at this point, they're trying to be as subtle as possible.
Yeah, because
Subtle.
they can't show them having actual sex or anything because...
No, they can't show them touching. Have you noticed that? They don't hold hands. We haven't seen them kiss. They literally have no physical contact.
Well, other than when they're doing, spells.
Yeah, okay. That is the one... but I mean more coupley kind of things. It's... Ooh. The 90s were not a good time sometimes.
Yeah. Just a few things were just... Yeah. Probably better left then.
Alrighty, so next week we will be talking about the episode New Moon Rising.
It has nothing to do with Twilight.
Well...
Right?
I think the closest thing is the fact that there's going to be vampires and there's going to be werewolves, but that's about it.
Yes, there will be vampires and there will be werewolves.
But it has no relation to Twilight.
Not directly. Although, Twilight does kind of rip a lot of things off of Buffy. But anyway.
But yeah.
Sadly, it only rips off the base things because...
It doesn't take any of the good stuff.
Yeah, no.
No.
Aside from that one thing.
No, they make the vampires purple. Anyways.
Anyway. In New Moon Rising, Oz returns to Sunnydale after leaving to control his werewolf instincts.
Oh boy.
However, he loses control when he suspects Tara and Willow's relationship and is subsequently caught by the Initiative.
Oh no.
It's gonna be a super happy time!
That doesn't sound super happy.
Oh, that sounds like all the terrible things coming together in a horrible little microcosm of terribleness.
Well, this sounds like it's gonna stab me a few times, ain't it?
So there are a couple of important things that will happen in this episode.
I can somewhat see that, especially with the Initiative involved. Though, that also brings up the other particular thing that wasn't mentioned that I would not be surprised that involved, including a particular person.
So, 1. This will be Oz's last real appearance in the show.
That's what I figured.
Makes sense.
He will technically appear in a dream sequence in the season finale, but this is his last, major appearance. And
Figured that.
this will be the first time that Willow really reveals that she's dating Tara.
Ah, okay.
They're going to actually, establish that, where they've been hinting at it, and by hinting at it, I mean beating you over the head with it.
Yeah.
Because she totally didn't have an orgasm doing that spell. That didn't happen.
Yeah, you can still hide it under the guise of that's how the spell supposedly works. It's not symbolism for anything.
No, of course not. Subtle as a brick to the face. Anyway, it is going to be I'm not going to say a good time.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be
It's not
digging
a
up.
fun time either.
It's gonna be digging up a whole bunch of crazy stuff and involving a whole bunch more people. Just oh my god.
It's a very good episode, but it is not a happy episode.
I'd have to supposedly agree from what I hear about it.
But until then, I'm Paul.
I'm Dave.
And I am a Justin.